We're going to start talking about arithmetic sequences. We're going to talk about how to write them, how to find the next terms in the sequence, and then how to find the sum of an arithmetic sequence. So an arithmetic sequence is a series of numbers where each term after the first differs from the one before it by a fixed constant called the common difference, which essentially means that I could add the same thing to get to the next term, or subtract the same thing each time to get to the next term. So to find the common difference, which we'll have to do in many cases, we're just going to subtract two successive terms. So two terms in a row, we're going to subtract them. You can also use that method to determine if a sequence is arithmetic. So for instance here, 7 minus 4, the difference here is 3. 10 minus 7, the difference here is 3. 13 minus 10, the difference here is 3. So notice that I have the same difference each time. So I'm adding 3, adding 3, adding 3, etc. So this one, yes, is an arithmetic sequence, and the common difference D would be positive 3. Looking at this one, this is the difference of 6, a difference of 18, so I don't even have to check the next one. Notice there is some sort of pattern here, but it's not arithmetic. So this would be a no. We don't have to try to find what the pattern is, we just have to know that it's not an arithmetic sequence. So to write the first four terms of an arithmetic sequence with the first term of negative 3 and a common difference of 4, we're going to obviously write the first term, and then we're going to use that common difference of positive 4 to add 4 to give me 1, to add 4 again to give me 5, to add 4 again to give me 9, and then we're just going to put the dot so that we can see that that would continue. Here's the same type of question, but notice that they are giving me a sub 1, which just means my first term is 1, and D, which is the common difference, is negative 3. So 1 minus 3 is negative 2. Subtract 3 again, and subtract 3 again. Continues on forever in that way. If we're trying to find the nth term, so we're trying to find a specific term of an arithmetic sequence, you know, obviously we can do the long way, which is to write all of the values in between. This tends to be the easier way. So I would write this down because you will use it often. So for instance, in this case, we're finding the 23rd term of an arithmetic sequence, negative 8, negative 3, 2, 7, etc. Well, I can see that the difference here is that I've added 5, I've added 5, I've added 5. And so if I really wanted to, I could just keep adding 5 until I got to the 23rd term. What I find most often with students is they'll use their calculators to do that, and then they'll lose track of which one's the 22nd, 23rd, etc. So instead, let's use this function that says, to find a sub 23, I'm going to start with a1, which is negative 8, and I'm going to add 23, which is n, minus 1, times the common difference, and we found that the common difference was 5. So this will help us to find that. So this is negative 8, and this is 22 times 5. And this is negative 8, and then 22 times 5 is 110, and that gives me 102. So again, my answer is 102, which I could have found if I really wanted to write out all of the terms, I could, but instead, this is the easier way to go about it. Here are two of those for you to try on your own, so press pause, try those questions, then press play to check your work. So here are the first four terms of an arithmetic sequence with the first term 27 and a common difference of 3. So this one I don't need that function. It's just 27. I'm adding 3 to get 30, adding 3 to get 33, adding 3 to get 36, and then it continues on. This one we're going to first write the formula to find the nth term of the arithmetic sequence given by these values, and then use it to find the 20th term. So looking at these values, I can see that I'm subtracting 3 each time. So remember what that function was, is a sub n equals the first term, which is 13, and then plus n minus 1 times the common difference, which is negative 3. So that's my function. You don't have to distribute this out. It doesn't really make sense to do that. So this would be the formula. And now I'm going to find a sub 20, which means 13 plus 20 minus 1 times negative 3, which is 13 plus 19 times negative 3. 19 times negative 3 is negative 57. And if I take 13 minus 57, I get negative 44. So negative 44 is my 20th term of the sequence.